The 2019 mid-year book freakout tag. That's right. And I know this is probably not the best moment to be making this video. It's not technically the middle of the year yet, but you know what? I don't care. It is kind of the middle of the year for me, and my 2019 is coming to a very important sort of closing moment. I am finishing up my semester, both as a student and as a college professor. So this point in the year right now really represents the beginning of the second half of the year for me. So it also means that I will get some break time, some vacations, finally, some time to read. And so it marks the beginning of a new moment, a new season, a new opportunity for reading in 2019. And so therefore, I want to make this video right now. It is the mid-year book freakout tag. It's a tag that I have done consistently every year since I've been on BookTube for the past years, 3 or 4 years, and it's a tag that I really like, and it's a tag that really signifies the closing of the first portion of the year. So indulge me. So the first question is, what is the best book that you have read so far in 2019? And to me, this is a very obvious one. It's 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff. I have been gushing about this book and this author with Sarah from the channel Hardcover Hearts. We are in love with the book and Helene Hanff herself. This book is just everything that I want from the experience of reading. So if you want to know more about my thoughts and why I thought this was absolutely wonderful and perfect, go and check out my individual book review. But yeah, this is the best book I've read so far this year. Question number 2 is, what is the best sequel that you've read in 2019? And, well, what do you know? It's Helene Hanff herself. She does it again. This is The Duchess of Bloomsbury Street, and it is, I guess, a sequel to 84 Charing Cross Road. 84 Charing Cross Road is all about Helene Hanff writing correspondence, writing letters, so corresponding with a man living in London, a bookseller in London. And they are talking about how Helene Hanff wants to go to London and meet him and meet all these people, but she doesn't have any money to do so. And so finally, in The Duchess of Bloomsbury Street, she finally gets to go there, and she goes to London, and she visits, she goes sightseeing, and she experiences the city, and it is a magical adventure if ever there was one. And I guess it is technically a sequel or a follow-up to 84 Charing Cross Road, and it is just as delightful, just as cozy and warm and bookish and quirky and whimsical and wonderful as 84 was, and as everything that I've read by Helene Hanff has been. So yeah, amazing. Question number 3 is a new release that you haven't read yet but want to. So these are not really new releases, but they are the most recently published books that I have and that I have on my TBR, and I really would like to read them sometime soon. I don't know if this year would be a realistic time to say, but probably next year, 2020. So one of them is fiction and the other one is nonfiction. The fiction one is Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. I almost say Once Upon a December. Once upon a December, someone hold me. Anastasia? Anyone? Well, Once Upon a River is Diane Setterfield's most recent novel. She is, of course, the revered author of the revered The 13th Tale, which is a book that I've read twice and really, really like. I've really liked it both times. So this is supposed to be really good, and yeah, that is my choice for fiction. And for nonfiction, I have my man Philip Pullman with his collection of essays, uh, Demon Voices on Stories and Storytelling. I have read Philip Pullman's one of his collections of essays before, and I really, really enjoy his nonfiction just as much as his fiction. And this book is beautiful. I mean, just it has so many illustrations and like extra material. It's like a really beautiful constructed beautifully constructed book, and it's long. It has a lot of material, it has a lot of content, and I just love Philip Pullman. I feel like he's one of those people that I can read in both fiction and nonfiction, and even just in an interview, just watching interviews with him, and he is full of warm intelligence. I just really, really like him. So that is my answer for nonfiction. Now, the next question is question number 4, and that is, what is the most anticipated forthcoming release of 2019 for you? So, a book that is coming out in 2019 that I am eagerly looking forward to, and that is, of course, the following book in the Book of Dust series by Philip Pullman. So Philip Pullman wrote his Dark Materials, which is a really important thing. It's my favorite trilogy. And then, what was it, a year ago or a couple years ago, he released La Belle Sauvage, which was book 1 in the Book of Dust, which is a new series revolving around his Dark Materials. So the second book in the Book of Dust is coming out in October of this year, and that is The Secret Commonwealth. So I am very eagerly anticipating that book. Question number 5 is, what has been your biggest disappointment of 2019 so far? Oh man, I have two books that that I thought were going to really blow my mind, and not only did they not meet that expectation, but they were actually pretty awful. So it wasn't just disappointing, it was like doubly disappointing. They were bad. The first one is Bel Canto by Anne Patchett. What a load of crap. I know that Anne Patchett is like, oh, such an American treasure and whatever. I don't care. This was bullshit. I hated this book with a passion. And, you know, this book was very, very high for me in terms of expectations, because it is Anne Patchett. It is a book about people in a very strange, stressful circumstance. They are kidnapped. So that's two things that I was really looking forward to reading. And the third one, it's a book about opera. It's a book about Bel Canto. Bel Canto is the fucking title. So I mean, how could I not like this book? I hated this book strongly. Like it was such a bad soap opera. So sugary and so unbelievable, so unrealistic. I know there has to be suspension of disbelief when you are reading a novel, but this was ridiculous. It was horrible, horrible. I hated everything. I hated the writing. Oh, the writing, the characters, the way the author addressed opera and music. I hated everything. Ugh. And the other one, strangely, is also about music, and this was Leonard Bernstein's Young People's Concerts. Basically, this is a transcript of some concerts, live concerts that aired in the 70s, in which Leonard Bernstein discussed and explained classical music for young people. So this was supposed to be amazing. I mean, how could I not like a book like this? It's a beautifully produced book with wonderful illustrations, with you know, a lot of explanations of musical concepts. It was a load of crap as well. It wasn't a load of crap in the same way that Bel Canto was a load of crap. This was just disappointing. It was very dry, and it was sort of lacking the vital element of this book, which was the music. Because, of course, if you are reading a book about music, you are not getting the actual stimuli, you know, the actual music itself, the sound. So reading this is like, I don't know, like watching a musical, but with the sound muted, you know, on mute. Or it would be like watching a foreign film with no subtitles. So there was something lacking in there, and I was very, very disappointed indeed. However, question number 6 is, what has been your biggest surprise in 2019 so far? And I happily have 3 surprises. The first one was The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne. It's a book that I was hoping I would like because everybody on BookTube has really liked this book, so I thought I might like it. I probably will like it. But it was a surprise. It was a surprise because I was not expecting the book to be the book that it turned out to be. I was expecting this book to be nice and comforting and sort of pleasant. What I wasn't expecting was this book to be so hilarious and sour, bittersweet. And that's why this book is one of my favorites from this year. It was a very, very beautiful surprise. Another great surprise was Broadway Nights by Seth Rudetsky. This is just so entertaining and so right for me. It is a book about Broadway, about the Broadway industry, the Broadway world, Broadway performers, the life on Broadway. And it is also kind of a soap opera, rom-com adventure, you know, with a lot of love, drama, and it's some people might say that this is the definition of a guilty pleasure. I do not. I just thought this was so entertaining and such a perfect fit for me. So yeah, Broadway Nights was another great surprise. Finally, my third really big surprise this year was Vita Nostra, or Vita Nostra, by Marina and Sergei Dyachenko. This was a surprise because, firstly, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. However, it wasn't exactly a disappointment. Basically, let me rephrase this. I had an idea of this book. I had a certain expectation of what this book could be like. That expectation was not exactly met. The book is so unique and so strange and so fucking strange that there's no way I could have foreseen that's what the book was going to turn out to be. So this book shattered my expectations of what I pictured the book might be like. This book is just very, very unique and very strange, and I didn't like it very much, but I did like it for its courage and for its uniqueness and for its weirdness. I don't know how to describe it. It is a very strange book, but it was surprising in a lot of ways. Question number 7 is, what has been your favorite debut so far in 2019? I honestly don't have an answer for this. I don't read a lot of debut fiction or nonfiction that I am aware of. So I'm just going to skip that question. Question number 8, what is your newest fictional crush? Again, I don't really have an answer. Question number 9 is, what is your newest favorite fictional character? I am choosing the protagonist from P.G. Woodhouse's Blanding's Castle series. So, in Blanding's Castle series, or A Bounty of Blandings, which is an anthology of stories and novels written by P.G. Woodhouse surrounding the characters in this place called Blanding's Castle. We get to meet all these people and all these shenanigans and whimsical adventures that are ridiculously fun. And my favorite character is the protagonist, which is this old man in the cover. He's the Earl of Emsworth. So yeah, his name is Lord Emsworth, and he is a delightful, eccentric, weird, schizoid old man. And he's delightful. So yeah, he's my favorite character. He's my favorite character from Blanding's Castle, and I think those stories are so delightful, particularly when following that character. Question number 10, what is a book that made you cry? I don't really have cried with books in a long time, so no answer. Question number 12. Question number 11. What is a book that made you happy? Very happy. The Bookshop Book by Jen Campbell. A book that, in a way, restored my faith in humanity. It restored my happiness and my calm. It's charming, it's delightful. It is a book about, well, of course, bookshops, but also the people who invest their lives and their resources, their time, their money, their effort, their energy into the life of books, book selling, book buying, book commerce. It's just a wonderful book, and I am coming to London in a month, and this book has given me a lot of suggestions of places that I need to visit when in London. Question number 12. What is your favorite book-to-film adaptation so far? I think my favorite adaptation has been Can You Ever Forgive Me, which is based on... It's a movie with Melissa McCarthy based on a nonfiction book of the same title that I haven't read, and I have no desire to read because I've heard it's not really that good. However, the movie, I loved it. I really, really loved it. I would have really liked that movie to have gotten more attention. But yeah, I really loved that one. Question number 13. What is your favorite review that you have made so far this year? I think I really enjoyed my review of Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I really enjoyed my review of Foe by Ian Reid. I really enjoyed my review of The Heart's Invisible Furies. I think those might be my favorites so far, just because I really tried. I really put an effort into making them. Question number 14. What is the most beautiful book that you have acquired so far in 2019? And that has to be this beautiful, beautiful anthology of Roald Dahl's stories. These are his adult stories, and it is an Everyman's Library edition, and you know I am a sucker for Everyman's Library editions. And so, yeah, I just love the way that they produce their books. It's great. And the last question is 15. What books do you need to read before the end of the year? I have many books that I want to read before the year is out. However, I have two that I would like to invite you to read along with me. One of them is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I will be reading The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt before the movie comes out in September, so I will be reading it probably in August, sometime in August. And so if you want to read it along with me and do a body read or something, let me know in the comment section down below, and we can, set things up. We can chat or talk on Voxer, probably. That would be a great idea. And the other one that I have to read before 2019 is out is His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. Why? Well, because the new book in the Book of Dust is coming out in October, so I want to reread His Dark Materials and the first book in the Book of Dust before the second one is out. And also, the miniseries of His Dark Materials is coming out sometime this year. I'm not exactly sure when. I don't think it's been announced yet, but I do know that it's coming out probably around the last months of the year. So I really want to read His Dark Materials. So if you want to read His Dark Materials along with me, also let me know in the comment section down below, and we can set things up. So that is the mid-year book freakout tag for 2019. Oh man, I've been on BookTube for quite some time now. So if you want to do this tag, you are officially tagged, but I also want to tag some people very specifically. I want to tag Steve Donahue, of course. I want to tag Adam, the Prince of Darkness, Memento Mori. I want to tag Chris Bookish Cauldron. I want to tag Alex from What Page Are You On? Alex, are you still here? I want to tag Sarah from Hardcover Hearts, and I want to tag Leo from A Little Book Life. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and here's to another great portion of 2019.